So today we went over single leg, which is when you're standing and you grab one of your opponent's legs. So single leg. And the first one, a few moves off of that. One is to actually stand straight up and just grip your opponent's ankle and then do a foot sweep. The second one is if he brings his foot outside. The first one, you're grabbing the foot and you're standing up on the outside of his leg. And then so you're sort of facing his back, sort of, because his foot's out. See, but your left. So if you're grabbing his right foot, your right hand is on his right ankle. Your left hand is like on his left hip or his belt. So it's coming around his back, and then you use your left foot to cup the heel, and you kind of pull him backwards over the heel. The second one is if when you grab his leg, he brings his foot outside. So in this case, you step inside of him. So you now have. So let's see, his right foot is still extended, but you're kind of hip to hip to him. So your right arm is on his lapel, and your left arm is gripping his knee, I think. Something like that. And then you sweep with your right foot against his left foot. I have to figure this out, but something like that. And then the third one is more of a. So the first two were like single, were like foot sweeps off of the single leg. And the last one is more of a traditional single leg. So you grab his leg, you control his leg between your legs, and what you want to do is you want to get up as close as possible to him. So you kind of work your way up his leg, grabbing the material of his pants. Until your shoulder is pushing all of your weight into him, and then you use your neck and shoulder to push down and knock him down, not as like a blow, but as like a more constant pressure. Alternatively, you could apply sort of like a rear naked choke hold to his upper thigh and use that leverage to push him down. But Fabio says that he doesn't like that as much because you're using like the strength of your arms rather than the whole weight of your body against him. So anyway, so what's interesting is that I've always thought that you are supposed to control the leg through the knee. So when you have one leg, your arm sort of gravitates to the crook of his knee, and then you can sort of swing around. But then Fabio actually says that the better control points are the ankle or the hip. So if you control the ankle, I guess it's easier for you to off balance him. It's harder for him to keep his balance. I guess because the lever is longer. And then if you have the hip, it's also true because you're closer to the trunk of his body, so you can put more pressure against the trunk of his body. So I've always thought you just grab the knee and kind of like twist around from there. So maybe that's why it's never worked for me before. So this sort of goes to like this guy on Instagram. I think his name is Max Shu. He always says like use the end of levers. I don't know. His style is all weird. He always says like to do something, and then he's like, you could do it this way, that way, or this way. And then he's like, let me know if you don't understand. I'm like, I never exactly understand what the hell you're talking about. Like, I kind of understand, but I don't really get why it works or exactly how to put it into place. I think it's because it's like he wants to like not give away everything, and so you buy his course or something like that. But I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's a little frustrating. Anyway, yeah. So going at the end of the arm or the end of the leg, or at the base, is something I should concentrate on more, I think. Especially because, you know, I'm lighter, so I need to use as much leverage as I can for anything to work, really. And then in the rolls today, so I went against Tristan, who just got promoted yesterday to blue belt. So I always have a really hard time with him because he's younger, he's faster, he's stronger, he's taller, he's better. So I'm kind of outclassing it every single way. I'm just trying to stave off the inevitable whenever I roll with him. But today, he has like this new trick where, so when he's in mount, so when he's on top of me with his legs above my legs, it's like one of the worst positions you can do. So I need to get out of it as fast as possible. So what you do is you sort of use your arms against his hips, and then you want to get your butt out from under his legs, that's like ideal. And then more realistically, you'll free one leg, and then you can come to half guard where you have one leg in between you and him. So as I'm trying to frame, he changes to this position called S mount, which is where he's like a stride move, but now he's more on the side. So now I have nothing to push against. And he can, so the first time he did it, I continued to like resist, and then he just took my back. And then the second time he did it, I knew he was going to do that, so I was like just trying to stay in that place, but kind of cover up more. And I think he still took my back. And then he did a third time. And also, you should be wondering why I'm at mount all the time. But that's just the way it goes against him sometimes. So the third time, I don't remember what happens. But the point is that getting from mount to S mount was like I didn't know what to do. I was like so confused. It's really bad for me strategically for him to do that. So that's something I gotta think about doing. How to actually, you know what? I did it today actually against someone else. I did it less successfully. So I went into the knee pinch a couple times and into a Kimura from there. But I couldn't finish the Kimura. And I went into an arm lock and got an arm bar on someone. So you know, I did do it too. So, but that's just something I want to work on. And that, and I also want to work on half guard, because for me everything sort of flows through half guard. Right? If I'm in bad position, if I'm in mount, for example, like I said before, I'm trying to escape the half mount. If I'm in side position, I want to escape the half mount. In turtle, usually I want to try to get out the half guard. Sorry. And when I'm on offense, you usually don't get a clean pass, so you'll wind up in half guard, and then you gotta finish the pass from there. So I think half guard is just where everything flows through. So it's just the most bang for your buck and get good at it. So right now I have a problem trying to sweep people out of it. So I was mixing up two different sweeps before, which was like the John Wayne sweep and like a coyote guard sweep. I was kind of mixing them up, and so John Wayne is more when your shoulders are pinned against the ground, and then the coyote is more when you get an underhook and you're supporting yourself with the other arm. So the leverage and the balance is going to be different between the two, so I need to figure that out. And then if it doesn't work, then you're supposed to roll to the other direction. So I need to figure out how to transition between those. So that's something to be recommend.